Making a double exposure image or two images combined is not that difficult to do in Photoshop, and it comes out with really interesting results, like some of the things you see here, which I found simply by searching the terms double image on Google. We're going to make our own double image now, and the first thing I need to do is find two suitable pictures to use. So you can combine any two things. It depends. I'm going to maybe combine, let's say, a city. I want to combine a city and a forest and see what that does. So when I'm looking for good pictures of a city, pay attention to the number of pixels, the resolution of the image. Because if I were to use this one, 630 by 472, it's not going to be it's not going to look very high quality when it's stretched to go full screen. That image doesn't have a lot of data in it. What I prefer to do, you could just go through and look for ones. You want to aim for something where at least one of the dimensions is above 1,000. But you can go to Tools and tell Google that you're only looking for larger images to begin with. And when you do that, every picture you get is going to be in a higher range. So let me go with this one right here. It's got one of the numbers is above 1,000. Now, if I were to right-click this and save it, that would be a mistake. You need to click on the image and get the higher quality preview on the right-hand side, the bigger preview, and save that one. If you save the little thumbnail, it's going to save in low quality. If you save the bigger one, it will save in full quality. And so this, I'm just going to call this city, and to my desktop is okay for that. You might save to downloads, you might save to documents. It's up to you. I'll save to desktop for now. Okay, now I've got city downloaded. I'm going to overlay on top of the city. There's a million things I could do. I want to combine a city and a forest. I'm curious how that's going to work. And I'm looking, it'll be helpful if the pixel count is similar to what I have. It's not, it doesn't have to be, but I'm going to, this one is close, so I'm going to go with one that's similar. And again, save my image. Here's my forest. So I've saved two images. Time to open Photoshop. The other applications folder, you'll find Photoshop, and when you go to click it, it's going to give you four options right off the bat. The one you want is Edit. So my photos have been downloaded. My next step in Photoshop is to open them both up, and it's File, Open, and then you have to go find them. So mine is thankfully going right to desktop where I was, but you may have to navigate through any of these links to find if it was in downloads or one of your libraries. As long as you know where you save things to, then it will be just fine. Here's forest, and let's also open up city. If you haven't yet paused this video, now might be a good time to pause it, download your photos, locate Photoshop, and open them. So here we have two pictures. I want to combine them into one, and it doesn't much matter which one you go onto the other. Either direction is fine. But if I want to take the city picture and put it on top of the forest picture, one way to do it would be to either hit Select All, or on the keyboard I love hitting Control A. Control A will just draw a blinky box around the whole thing, and then I could also hit Edit Copy. But again, I like using the keyboard shortcut Control C. And over here, it's Control V to paste. And I've now got two pictures on the same file, and you can see them coexisting on my layers over here. But I'm going to take this original, I'm done with it, so I'm going to just close it out. They're not quite the right size. I'm glad that that actually worked out because it gives me a chance to show you the move tool, the move size tool up here. Allows you to go up to the handle and resize. In this case, I want to resize it bigger so it's really covering the other picture. And then once you've resized, the program won't let you do much else until you've hit the green check mark and told it yes. So now my city is completely covering my forest, but you can again see the layers exist over here. If I were to click the eyeball You can hide one layer at a time. That can be very convenient when you're trying to use Photoshop. And for the final step, it's going to be some trial and error. But here, where you have the word normal, that's how the layers are interacting. You can, using trial and error, kind of click around and see what some of the different ways the colors would be combined, what kind of results that gets you. And you'll often find there's actually quite a few that look really cool. And it's almost hard for me to choose what I want to use here because a lot of these look good. And part of that is because the pictures I chose to begin with were both interesting. The better you start with, the better it ends up with. So I'm going to go with this. And the final step here is to get this, if this is what I'm going to consider my final work, to get this out of Photoshop, into my Starlog, out to the printer. The number one thing I would do here is I'd hit File, Save As. So when Photoshop saves, by default, it wants to save it as a Photoshop document, a PSD. And that is a good way of saving it if you think that in the future you're going to want to open it again in Photoshop. PSD files retain all of the layers, and you can open it up, and if class is over and you've got to save real quick, save as a PSD. However, if you know your file is done and you're ready to send it out to the printer or send it to your Starlog, JPEG would be the better option. And save it as a JPEG, and I'm paying attention to where it's going. Again, this one's going to my desktop, and that's okay. And it's renamed it Forest Copy, and that's fine. Save. Okay on this is fine. And it looked like nothing happened, but if I went out here to my desktop now, here's Forest Copy, and from here you could put this right into your Starlog by dragging it or by inserting it. And also, if I double click this and just open it up with the Windows editor, it's a really quick and easy way to print it. And of course, I'm going to send it to the color printer on mine that's already selected. On yours, you might have to go and find it. You might have to click more printers, but a color printer, and out that comes, and I can hang it on the wall. So double image, once you've done it once, you can experiment with all kinds of different options, like trying more than 2 images, for example, or just trying different types of images. But a really cool, quick and easy way to make interesting art by combining 2 layers in a variety of different ways. Hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck.